Jesus Christ. Robot cats. Robot cats coming to get us.
Well, they created something called the robo-rat. That was the first biohybrid, right? So a biohybrid is when you mix an animal and a machine. And DARPA was doing that right before 9/11. And people freaked out. They were like, you cannot put brain chips in rats and make them move through a maze by a, remote control, which is what they were doing. And I interviewed the guys who were all working on this program before 9/11. And so the morality of the citizenry was like, no. Then 9/11 happened. And suddenly all this money got pumped into DARPA to do anything they wanted. The morality issue went out the window, and they started creating all kinds of biohybrids, as I write in the Pentagon's Brain. So they put, they now have pigeons that are mixed, animal and machine.
What?
They created something called, there's a moth. So there's a Mandica sexta moth. That's what it's called. It's a large moth. And DARPA scientists put brain chips into the larva, okay, so that when it cocooned and became a flying moth, it had the chip built into its system, making it easier to integrate, and they could fly the moth around the lab. And that was a huge step, and this is now 4 years ago that I was interviewing these scientists.
Did you see any of this stuff?
I didn't see the moth, but I told you I saw that the limb regeneration lab was a trip. And this is all...
What was going on there?
Well, they were just cutting limbs off of salamanders and watching the limbs grow back, right? And examining that and saying, well, if a salamander can do this, so can we one day. And I said to them, but wait, that's impossible, And they said, well, it's not actually, because humans have... I love scientists who break it down into terms I can understand. It's like what Elon Musk did,
Yeah.
Right? And they said to me, you were once a single cell in your mother's womb, and then you were two, and then you were, right? Mm-hmm. So you can regenerate. And that's their premise. I mean, these are the world's top scientists in regeneration.
What is this, Jamie?
It's the moth being stimulated by electrocurrents in its abdomen.
So the stimulation of the electrocurrents, they can cause it to go left or right? Is that it?
Yeah, I was just looking up these biohybrid moths.
What was the thing that you threw your hands on your head like you were freaking out? Like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. He was reading something. He went,
Yeah, I typed in.
What is it?
I started typing in biohybrid stuff, and this is the first thing that popped up was this
shrimp
article. Yeah, it says they're going to test them through Olympic-themed events.
Oh my God! Look at this. DARPA MTO seeks innovative proposals for the development of micro to milli insect-scale robotic technology. Shrimp. Will develop. Okay, so shrimp is
an acronym, probably. They love acronyms.
Will develop and demonstrate through a series of Olympic-themed events, multifunctional MM to CM scale robotic platforms. So I guess that's millimeter to centimeter scale. Robotic platforms with a focus on untethered mobility, maneuverability, and dexterity. To achieve this goal, Shrimp will also provide foundational research in the area of micro actuator materials and energy-efficient power systems for extremely capital letter S, capital level W, lowercase a, capital P, constrained microbiotic systems. It is expected such advances will be enabling for applications including search and rescue. Yeah, right. Search and rescue. Disaster relief. Yeah. We're going to help people. Hazardous environment inspection or killing motherfuckers with an evil nuclear bee. That's all you need.
It's always the search and rescue
bee that goes in your mouth and blows up. Fuck. That's crazy.
I mean, they do all kinds of planning for the future.
Yeah.
But the search and rescue thing it's a great sort of way in which to present DARPA as doing all this great stuff. I interviewed DARPA scientists who said, "Look, Annie, we're able to send robots into Fukushima to twist the
cores,
right?
Yeah.
And yes, that is great, but that's far from the only thing.
Yeah,
it's
they're
being
trying
used
to kill
for.
people.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But here's a trip. You want to hear? I mean,
sure.
There are rabbit holes there because I've sourced all these documents and also interviewed generals at the Pentagon who are like, we don't like AI. We want this. We want our guys on the ground. You know, they believe in the human, the warrior, that concept. And so the generals were very opposed to it. The DARPA took a vote, and it was like, no AI. We want humans in the mix. And so what did DARPA start doing? And the generals, they said, why can't we go more autonomous? And the answer was, we don't trust the machines, okay? So right around that same time, what did DARPA start doing? It started looking into and hiring scientists who were working with how trust works in the brain, specifically with what is called the moral molecule. And it's this molecule in the brain that mothers emit when they're breastfeeding. Okay.
Oh, like oxytocin?
Yes. So think about that. And I mean, that's like the ultimate going way back biology. Like you have to have a mother, a trusting mother to breastfeed in, prehistory, or otherwise you'd be like, this is a bad idea. I'm stopping to do this. I'm going to die. Right. So they examined that molecule, the brain's moral molecule, and they began a program to work with that, to be able to give that to soldiers so that they trusted AI machines. And that's where I think you're getting into really spooky, dark, multi-levels of manipulation about what humans want versus what the Pentagon wants.
Wow.